The problem was the woman in front of us. I'm getting my stuff. She's got a 12-pack of Ice House, 2 bags of chips, a Beanie Baby, a kid sleeping in the shopping cart, and another kid running around like a lunatic behind her. She's trying to use her phone to pay for her stuff, and it's not taking. So I don't understand why it's not working. I don't understand why it's not working. So finally she goes, well, it's not working. I guess I'll leave. You got a kid sleeping in the cart. It's 11:45 at night. Why the hell you got these kids out getting Ice House beer and chips? Really? Well, you going to drink yourself to death before they give the kids the chips? One kid's already in a coma in the shopping cart. Oh, he's out cold. I didn't even know the kid was there. And I look and I go, damn.
There's a kid in the cart.
There's a kid in the cart. And he's like...
Gotta get that Ice House.
Look at you. You have a baby. In a bar.
That's the Chicago way.
Oh, you should put that speech on tape.
Hello, Chicago. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Got a drink to that?
Welcome to Alternate Reality.
Possibly explain the fact that he's there since he hasn't been born yet, technically?
Well, I'm assuming that he's going to disappear at some point.
I don't think so.
I
think people like him enough to the point where he's going to be hanging around.
I think he's going to be like Superman's cape and disappear.
I think he's going to hang around. I think if they go up for next season, I think he's going to be a member of the team.
But that's getting ahead of ourselves. Because we're not time traveling here on the Alternate Reality. We're here right now. Hey, folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome to the Alternate Reality.
I thought this was day after tomorrow.
Our wonderful weekly podcast coming to you from Alternate Reality, the comic book store, located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all of your new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone.
Even Dennis Quaid?
I am being joined today, yes, even Dennis Quaid. I am being joined today by the music man himself, Rod Flash. Hey, Rod.
Hello, boys and girls.
And, of course, the man who's a virtual bottomless toilet of information, the one and
kids?
Only Bocepheus. Hello, Bocepheus.
Hello, boys and girls.
Well, this is an all-news update today.
News!
You dialed in, you're here to hear news, and we're going to give you news. Oh, so much news you're so much news you're gonna bletch. Since we are doing a WrestleMania episode, do you want to get wrestling out of the way first?
We could
with this WWE, which is actually the only news you've got. WWE.
Well, there was some indie news this week, but we'll save that for another show because indie news is kind of hard to come by because there's not a lot of news out there.
What? Nothing's coming out of Ring of Honor?
No, nothing's coming out of Ring of Honor. There is
nothing's coming out of Tokyo.
People here going, who? Yeah. There is a tease for the next show. We're going to be talking about a show that you can go to here in the city of Chicago, involving Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Oh,
the American Nightmare.
American Nightmare. Cody Rhodes.
That's a tease for the next show.
He's an American Nightmare now, right?
That's one of the names he's been using. Yeah.
Okay.
I love it.
Roman Reigns. Apparently, Roman Reigns is having steroid allegation problems.
Here's the problem with the steroid. It's some guy named John Bravo who says a long time ago there was a Richard Rodriguez of a place called Wellness Fitness Nutrition. A lot of wrestlers were named on that for a pharmacy for getting stuff. This guy John Bravo kept claiming Roman Reigns is going to be a big part of the story. Guess what? Roman Reigns wasn't part of the story. He was making the whole thing up.
Oh, well then Roman Reigns is good.
But they were worried about that. But what they found out was that Reigns had said, I've never been using steroids. I got busted for using Adderall.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I've ever been busted for. And I've been tested ever since, and I've been clean ever since. So this guy's basically just trying to make a name for himself. Yeah. There are a bunch of people mentioned in there, Luther Reigns. This guy also claimed that Mark Wahlberg was on steroids.
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
When did he start wrestling?
He was buffing up for the boxer.
He was busting up for the boxer, and he was also doing the movie with The Rock, the Michael Bay thing. And so they were like,
the
Pump and Go? What the hell was that thing called?
Pump and Go.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. They were both doing steroids. Him and The Rock was doing steroids.
And Tony Shalhoub
became salesmen. It was like an action comedy.
Was that what the movie was about?
That was what the movie was about.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, they did a kidnapping. They kidnapped Monk.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah, because they were on steroids. It was actually one of the Michael Bay movies that actually was intelligible, which is rare. But it was intelligible.
You love those Transformer films. Don't lie.
I've never seen a single one of those films. I've seen them shoot the damn things. I've never seen them actually do them.
Well, they shoot most of them here in Chicago. So
yeah.
If
you're downtown, you're going to stumble across
so every time I went to Riverbeach 21, I go, oh, they're shooting across the street again. Okay, well, I'm going to the movies. Bye.
Well, that's great.
Because that's where they dump all the garbage and stuff in the lot across the street from Riverbeach 21.
So Roman Reigns is clean.
He's clean. Yeah, he's suffering from that terrible beating he got from Brock Lesnar.
Oh my God! Yes, it was a horrible.
By the
horrible
way,
beating.
was a good way to sell.
And by the way, boys and girls, U.S. Marshals don't come in and arrest you in the middle of a wrestling ring.
Sure, they do. That
no,
happens
they
all the
don't.
time. And they do everything they possibly can to help facilitate the storyline.
Yeah, then all of a sudden after this happens, they leave.
Yeah.
You know what probably would have been even made it sell even more if one of the marshals put out a taser. Because I was actually looking for
he's
that.
reading the Miranda rights. I'm like, Marshals don't read you. They're not regular cops. They're U.S. Marshals. They don't read you anything. They just put the cuffs on you and walk you out of the building.
Well, you're talking about story time with boys and girls. I've got one. Boys and girls, if ever you see cops or people who dressed like cops come into a wrestling ring,
don't hit them.
And they're still rolling tape, it's not real. Yeah. Because if the cops actually did raid the place, you'd never see it.
My other part was back to Lesnar cursed a couple times and they blinked it out.
Well, Lesnar, they said
it's a family show.
Yeah,
they said they give Lesnar leeway to do whatever he wants to. So,
you can cuss and get. There's certain people who can cuss and get away with it. He's one of the guys who can cuss and get away with it.
Yeah, but they'll just bleep him out.
Yeah, and of course Paul Heyman came out to do nothing but look stern.
I think he was he waving the belt around. And
he had the belt on him.
You asked for it. You asked for this.
Yeah, he basically was like, "We're gonna bring Paul out." He's not gonna say anything. Roman said yes, and Lesnar goes, "Yes, suplex city, bitch."
So has Roman Reigns gotten over yet with the fans?
Or? The fans.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
The fans love this bit. That bit's worked out quite well. He's not here. He's never here. And this, by the way, is an old Rock John Cena bit. They just redid it. And I care about the business, and you don't give a crap. You just show up to get the check. They've
been running that storyline with any wrestler who has gone anywhere in Hollywood over the last 15 to 20 years.
You don't care about the fans.
Yeah, we're here working 7 days a week while you're off making movies. You're not a real wrestler anymore. I'm going to throw you a curve. I'm going to skip the next one. I want to go to a story that you don't have on your list. Bray Wyatt.
Delete.
Well, this is what I'm getting at. Apparently, Bray Wyatt's character is now dead.
He was dumped in the Lake of Resurrection.
Well, yes, he's dumped in the Lake of Resurrection.
which
means he's going to come back as what?
Different.
IRS's son or something?
I don't know, but yes, he was dumped in the Lake of Resurrection. And by the way,
that
bit was all Jeremy Borash. That was all his idea. That was all his and Matt Hardy's idea. That is all the stuff they did in TNA Impact. The Senior Benjamin, the King Maxwell, all that stuff is completely with TNA.
But WWE fans have never seen that.
Oh, they've seen it. No, the hardcore fans have seen it.
Right, but they know it. They're going, what in the world?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but as far as Vince is concerned, it's new.
It's new to everybody else.
It's new. But the point I'm getting at is Bray Wyatt's character, who I don't think the WWE has never really taken to heart the way they should. They never. Yeah. I don't think that they ever really embraced that whole what he was doing was
Eater Worlds. I'm a guy.
Almost like David Koresh.
He was doing David Koresh. He was also doing Jake Roberts. He was doing a couple other characters.
No, the guy he was really doing was Max Cady. He's doing Max Cady, and that bit was fine when it started off, and they had the whole family thing and everything, and eventually the family got peeled away from him.
They sent him over to SmackDown.
And they sent him over to SmackDown. And it was just him by himself. Yeah. But the whole music coming out with the lantern and all the fireflies, and that whole bit, and him in the rocking chair laughing and all that crap. That stuff all worked, but it just seems like WWE never really got behind it.
Yeah, they should have pushed him better. I mean, he was a champion for all. They should have pushed him a lot better. He's a guy who was always way more over than they were letting him be over, because he's over as hell.
I see his downfall when they didn't let him beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. If you'd have had Bray Wyatt beat the Undertaker right there, that would have pushed him so over.
Well, that would have been the changing of the guard. Yeah. Because that character came in, one assumed, to be the replacement for the Undertaker.
Right.
And it never happened.
No.
And somewhere along the way, somebody decided, Vince, somebody decided we're not going that direction after all. It's like, And then it becomes, well, what's the point? But they never really got behind him. That always bothered me, because if they'd gotten behind, it was a great bit.
Yeah.
If they'd gotten behind it, I think it would have worked.
It would have worked a lot better.
It's like if they never got behind the Undertaker's bit and they made him mean Mark Callis again after 2 years.
Oh.
That would have been flushing the whole Undertaker history down the toilet.
Because the thing is, Bray Wyatt's merchandise is a steady seller. It's not a huge seller, but it's a steady seller.
Well, the fact that he was dumped in the Lake of Resurrection.
Lake of Resurrection.
Yes, the Lake of Resurrection.
After being hit by the mower of lawns.
That in and of itself should tell you he's going to be repackaged.
Yes, he's going to be repackaged as something different.
Well,
he's been deleted. He's been deleted.
The whole Sister Abigail thing. I mean, that was a really great bit that really flamed out badly.
Well,
by the time they finally got to it, him in a wig in a rocking chair, with a scarf over his face,
which didn't happen because he got meningitis from his brother. But there was a plan a long time ago for there to be an actual Sister Abigail out of NXT, and it never happened.
A cross-dressing champion, they could have went with that.
Why didn't they actually get a Sister Abigail?
They kept.
I'm sure they could have found some girl down there to play it.
They kept teasing it and goofing around with it, and they never got around to doing it. There's a bunch of people. I mean, you could be using the crazy one from Sanity.
Yeah.
She could have been Sister Abigail.
Yeah, actually, she would have been great.
She would have been perfect as Sister Abigail. But they never got around to doing it.
So Bray Wyatt's going to be repackaged, and you're going to see him again, probably as IRS Jr.
He'll be something else.
Your old tax cheats.
Yes, he'll be coming back as Husky Harris.
Husky Harris.
Because fans still remember they see it every once in a while. Husky Harris.
Husky Harris, who's here to make sure you don't shit on your taxes.
So we're gonna lose the whole Exorcist walk then.
That's all going down the toilet. Yeah.
Well, there's gonna be something.
That was one of the best.
There's gonna be something different about him. In fact,
his whole character.
He'll probably start hanging out. He'll probably start hanging out with Matt Hardy. He'll probably be part of the Hardy clan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you also had Jeff. You had Jeff pop up at the end of it, going, "Hi, I'm here." Yeah, Senior Benjamin, his father-in-law.
Okay.
King Maxwell.
Your final wrestling story, Daniel Bryant.
He's cleared.
So we can expect a death in the ring sometime in the next year or so.
Right? Actually, no. He got cleared after going to about 3 or 4 different doctors. He was using some kind of hyperbaric treatment that Joe Namath, apparently. Joe Namath used it, and Joe Namath said it's improved his cognitive functions incredibly. One of the things that came out yesterday was one of the doctors who talked to him said there was never any sign of brain damage ever in anything that they ever saw.
Yeah.
This is just the WWE being overcautious. Although he will have a neurological test after every match.
So he's going to keep doing that flying headbutt off the top.
No. He's going to do the flip he did Monday night. He's not going to do that flying headbutt off the top rope.
The flip I'm flip
is
okay
easy
with that, but that flying headbutt.
People were wondering because he did the little flip thing. No, he won't be doing the flying headbutt. He said before if he got cleared, he was going to change his style a little to basically protect himself from hitting himself in the head.
Yeah, because that flying headbutt thing, that's been 2 wrestlers that's already fallen prey to that.
Well, it's the same thing with the spear. That's what messed Edge up. He kept doing the spear. It messes your shoulders up.
Well, no, Edge's problem was, I saw the match he did. The spear he did at Brodus Clay, and he went head first instead of with the shoulder, and his neck snapped back real quick.
Yeah,
I was like, that didn't look good. And they basically told him, if you do it again, you will never walk.
Well, he's trying to do the Dynamite Kid flying headbutt thing, which Chris Benoit was doing.
Which put him in a wheelchair.
You can't do that.
You can't jump off the top.
Eventually, your head's going to go, no.
So, have you any idea how old he is?
Who, Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Is he 37? He's not that old.
No, he's
not that old.
So he's still got a number of years ahead of him.
Oh, yeah. And his contract ended in August, so he'll be around. I'm assuming he won't be the general manager of SmackDown. Because he'll be an active wrestler.
Yeah.
He'll be wrestling more often than Kurt Angle is.
Well, who's going to run SmackDown? I mean,
you can find someone to be the GM. That's not exactly a hard thing to do. I mean, you brought in Drake Maverick, Rockstar Spud, to be the general manager of a 205 Live.
Mick Foley. Bring him back.
Well, Mick basically said that he would be looking for a reason to come back. He wanted him to be on Raw 25 because you don't have a storyline and I got fired, so it wouldn't make any sense for me to come back for like a 10-minute bit. It didn't make any sense.
You can come back and run SmackDown.
He can come back and run SmackDown.
Have Vince bring him back.
I'm assuming...
I really need somebody to run SmackDown.
I would assume that Vince is probably going to be on either this week's SmackDown or the following week's SmackDown.
And that's it. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to do comic book news.
Yes.
Located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in the heart of beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood, Alternate Reality is the only brick-and-mortar store that discounts all new comics 15% off every day for everyone. And that's been since 1994. And all brand new first issues are discounted at 25% off every new Comic Wednesday. So stop on down and save some money. And we're back. Bo!
Yes?
Justice League.
Yes.
What is going on with Justice League? You're going to have 4 different teams or 3 different teams?
3 different teams, but the book will ship every week.
And the book's going to ship every week, but is it going to be Justice League, or is it going to be a special book, or is this going to be like a mini-series?
No, you're going to have Justice League, you have Justice League Dark.
Yeah.
And Justice League Odyssey.
Okay, so the 3 books are going to ship every week? Or
no.
This one storyline's going to ship every week?
Scott Snyder, George Jimenez, and Jim Chung are doing a bi-weekly Justice League book.
Okay.
Jim Chung hasn't worked for DC for a while. He's back. It's a big get. I will tell you right now, George Jimenez is going to draw most of those books because Jim Chung is not a monthly artist. The 2 issues a month. Yeah. He's going to do about 5-6 issues, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
Now, their team is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, Jon Stewart's Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and Martian Manhunter.
Well, that's the core of the team.
That's the core of the team.
That's a Justice League.
And they'll be fighting, apparently, the Dark Batman from Dark Knight's Metal.
Yeah.
The other book is Justice League Odyssey. That's from Stephen Sebeck, who draws Aquaman, and Joshua Williamson. Their team is, and you're going to notice a couple of duplications here in these teams, Cyborg, Starfire, Jessica Cruz is Green Lantern, Azrael, and Darkseid.
Darkseid?
Darkseid's going to be...
What the hell's Darkseid doing in the Justice League?
The Darkseid.
What the hell's he doing in the Justice League?
Because there's something that they're working on that he needs, and so he's going to be with the team.
So this is Luthor joining the Justice League?
Yes, this is Luthor joining
Worse
the
than
Justice
Luthor joining Justice League.
And then you're going to get James Tynion in the 4th and Ralph Hernandez on Justice League Dark. Zatanna, Swamp Thing, Man-Bat, Detective Chimp, and Wonder Woman, who'll be the team leader.
Oh, God, Detective Chimp is coming back to the Justice League again.
Scott Snyder loves Detective Chimp. And so that's why he's part of it.
Oh, man.
Detective Chimp.
Okay, and all this is going to be spinning out of Dark Knight's Metal.
Yes. All these books start in June.
Okay. So I assume they're going to cancel Justice Leagues?
Yeah, both those books will be canceled. Those books end in May.
So it's, at some point those books come to an end and then these start.
These start up.
Okay. So if I got my numbering correct, none of these are going to make it to 52.
No. No.
Now, are they going to do anything with keeping the legacy numbering, or are they just flushing them?
They bring the promo copies for the cover for Justice League #1. It just says Justice League #1. Justice League Dark, it says Justice League Dark #1. So I guess those numbers are going to go away. They're going to be hidden in the corner of the book somewhere.
Yeah, but they're not going to bother to keep any sort of legacy numbering.
No.
Right? No. Frank Miller. What is Frank Miller doing? He's doing something over at DC.
He signed a 5-year deal with 5 books, one of which you already know, Superman Year 1. That's one of them. He's also going to do...
He hates Superman. Why is he doing Superman?
Because he loves Superman.
He thinks Superman is stupid.
He loves Superman.
No, he showed a lot of love with Dark Knight for Superman. Superman, the stooge of the U.S. government.
Well,
Hi, I'm Superman, U.S. government stooge.
Well, he's doing that limited series with John Romita Jr. He's also doing a young adult novel with Carrie Kelly, the Batgirl from...
And when he was doing the goddamn Batman book, Superman was a moron in that book.
Yeah, it's true.
Superman is carrying a car over his head and running across the ocean.
So you're not expecting...
Yeah, he's got deep wells of love for Superman.
Maybe John Romita Jr. will help him out with this.
I don't think so.
And then there's also 3
Well, it doesn't matter anyway. It's not like this thing's ever going to ship. Frank Miller's name's on it.
Frank Miller's just writing this.
Oh, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Romita Jr.'s drawing. He's still fast as hell. He's only doing that's the only thing he's doing.
Dark Knight 3 came out. The only thing Miller did on Dark Knight 3 was, here's an index card with an idea, and I'll do one variant cover for every issue. And that damn book fell right off the schedule.
That will be known as a contractual obligation. Yeah, he did those little mini stories in the middle of them. That was it. But he said quite clearly, I got nothing to do with this. They said, we're going to do this. I said, okay, I'll do this stuff in the middle, but I got nothing to do with this book.
It wasn't that big a loss.
Hey!
What?
It was okay.
No, well, why is he deciding to do a Superman book? I mean, is this DC's idea or his idea?
I think this is both.
Did DC come to him and say, we'd really like for you to do a Superman book? Or did he go to DC and say, I'd really like to do a Superman book?
I think it was both.
And is this going to be the goddamn Superman?
They could be.
Oh, God.
This is a... What's that line called? This is a Black Label book, which means it's going to be an adult.
Oh, is it going to be a Black Label
It's
book?
a Black Label book.
Oh, okay.
Superman book's Black Label.
Mabel! Black Label!
Right. It's going to be darker. So maybe Superman will be like cussing.
Be like the Man of
Or have
Steel
sex.
movie.
Have sex with Lois.
It won't be the goddamn Superman. It'll be the son of a bitchin' Superman.
That's it. That'll be it.
I'm the son of a bitchin' Superman.
That'll be it. I'm the mother blanking bit.
Nah, I don't think they're going to go that far. Well, I don't know. What can they do with Black Label?
Anything
How
they
far
want to
can
do.
they go?
Anything they want to do. It's for college older people. Anything they want to do.
So swears?
You could swear.
I mean, real swears. Not goddamn, and not son of a bitch. But
sit up there and say, well, you're
basically what
George Carlin 7 dirty words swear.
You know what Black Label is? Black Label is basically DC's Max line. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a Max book, which means you can do anything you want.
So Batman's getting guns. Yeah.
Roping guns.
Be goddamn Batman with goddamn guns.
I'm the goddamn Batman. Damn you.
It's my goddamn car. I'll call it the Batmobile. What a stupid book. Jesus God. What was that moronic book?
Wait a minute. Did they explain in Batman this week that how Batman changes into Bruce Wayne in the Batmobile?
Yes. I talked.
What the hell's the point behind telling us that?
No.
It didn't matter.
No.
Okay.
No. I talked about this on the shipping video.
Yes.
Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Okay, in the Batman storyline where Poison Ivy is like taking over the whole world's minds.
Right.
Harley Quinn delivers Batman to Ivy and in the Batmobile. Yeah. And she says, and you won't believe it, he's got a machine that changes his pants for him while he drives the Batmobile. Now, this is Harley saying it. Okay. So
take it with a grain of salt.
Well, there's every chance in the world there is no such machine. She's just saying that to be funny. But it was funny. Well, you know what I want to know? What? In the first part of that story, when Superman gets taken over, he punches Bruce in the face. Yeah. Bruce is missing half his teeth because he's hanging there upside down. Okay, and
would he be dead?
Well, Superman.
Would his head been taken off?
Yeah, his head would have been mushrooms.
Well, Superman punches him pretty hard. Okay, and it's a full panel shot of Bruce's head. Yeah. He's missing half the teeth in his head. He's bleeding, and he's got a huge sore where his eye was.
Got a big hematoma.
And Superman, of course, doesn't care because he's being mind controlled by Poison Ivy. The next issue, he's in a hospital bed with an IV, and he looks fine. They don't say anything about what happened in the interim. But he had teeth knocked out.
It's the same thing that happened when his back got replaced. His back got fixed. The same person showed up and fixed his face.
Fixed his teeth.
He fixed everything.
God.
I thought if Superman punches you and
die.
Well, it depends on how hard he punches you.
No, he's Superman. Do you say that Poison Ivy was basically controlling them?
Poison Ivy had taken over every mind of everyone in the world. We see a Doctor Who episode with David Tennant, the very last one he did, where the Master took over everybody's mind and became everybody. It's essentially that, except without everybody's face looking like Poison Ivy. But she's essentially working through everybody. And so she's in Superman's body and she punches him pretty hard.
It's the same as when Superman and Lois have sex. Of course we know she died.
No. See, that's a difference. It's a control thing now. Now, Poison Ivy is taking over Superman.
This is really getting into geek talk.
No.
Let's talk about Superman and Lois having sex.
I'm not talking about that
I am ashamed of both of you.
I'm not talking about the sex part. I'm talking about if Poison Ivy took over Superman. That means pretty much he has no will, and she's controlling.
Well, nobody does. She'd take over everybody.
So when she told him to
Which is a ludicrous concept, but what the hell?
Yeah, but if she told him to punch Batman, that means he used every last bit of his Kryptonian might to punch.
Well, if he had done that, there'd be nothing there but a bloody stump.
Maybe.
My point exactly.
Maybe Poison Ivy has the hots for Batman.
You think? I didn't know that. I thought all the female cats.
No, she does on Gotham.
What woman in Gotham doesn't have the hots for Batman?
Well, he is quite attractive with that money and all.
Yeah, right.
In fact, he gets crap snapped out of him a couple times. Get your head back together, you idiot.
Okay, and our final story for DC News. This is actually an old story. I just came across this past week. Apparently, back in the beginning of February, Michael Fleisher died. Michael Fleisher was a writer at DC back in probably from very, very, very late 60s. I would bet he probably did some House of Secrets or
House of Secrets. I pulled up his stuff. He did
because that was always a trial book for New.
He did a lot of stuff,
but
for a lot of companies.
But he was best known for his Spectre run on Adventure Comics in the very early 70s, and from there he also worked on. He co-created Jonah Hex, worked on Weird Western Tales, worked on Ghost Rider over at Marvel, and he also did Savage Sword and Conan over at Marvel as well. His Spectre stories, best
gruesome.
Known. Yes. Well, you know what his Spectre stories?
Sadistic.
I was thinking about this week, and those stories they had a real effect on me when I was younger. When I first got back into reading comics, I loved those Spectre stories. Those are Twilight Zone episodes. That's all those were. Yeah. They were gorier. Okay,
I'm turning into wood and putting in a wood chipper.
Punishment. Every Twilight Zone episode is some sort of poetic justice, and every Spectre story was some sort of poetic justice. The villains always were dispatched in some sort of poetic justice way. The punishment met the crime, whatever the crime wound up being. So if there was the one story where you had a fashion designer, I think it was male, I forget if it was male or female, but you had a fashion designer who was out killing people, and so the Spectre made a huge pair of scissors and just cut her in half. And because the fashion designer, she's cutting clothes all over. Yeah. So he makes a huge pair of scissors and cuts her in half, which is incredibly gory, but of course you don't see anything.
No, it was a bloodless death.
Yeah, it's essentially a bloodless
death. It was like,
death.
Oh my God.
Jon Favreau, he drew all of those.
Yeah.
And drew all those beautifully.
Yeah.
But I remember you have the body wrapped up in a bunch of bolts of fabric, but you can tell that the body's been hacked in half because the top half of the body is sort of laying one direction and the bottom half of the body is sort of pointing in another direction, and there's a great big scissors sticking out of the ground between them.
Didn't he turn the guy into a block of ice and stick him in the desert?
No. What he did was he turned a guy into a wooden statue.
Yeah.
And then shoved him into a wood
chipper.
Not a wood chipper. He shoved him into a saw blade that had multiple blades.
Yeah.
So he was segmented. So Spectre turned him into wood, shoved him in there, pulled him out, and so he was stacked in sections.
With pieces.
With this horrific look on his face throughout all of eternity. But those were all the Spectre stories. And it only ran 8 to 10 issues.
Yeah, it wasn't a long run.
No, it wasn't a long run, but the book was bi-monthly at the time, so it seemed to go on a long time.
Yeah, most stuff back then was bi-monthly.
And in the Comics Journal, Harlan Ellison was interviewed by Gary Groth, and this was like 81, 82. These stories had already come out like 8 years earlier.
Yeah.
But Ellison was paying Fleisher a compliment, talking about how great those stories were.
Yeah.
But he also said that somebody who writes stuff like that has to be unhinged on some level, which Mike Fleisher read, wasn't happy about, and sued the Journal and sued Harlan Ellison for defamation of character.
Me for being crazy.
Well, but you're insinuating that I'm insane.
Yeah.
But Ellison was trying to compliment
him, and it came out wrong.
It was a bad way of... You understood what he said while he was saying it, but it typed out, it looked like, you're saying I'm crazy.
You know, that's like saying to the girl, you're the most beautiful girl here among all these ugly women.
Yeah.
You know, every woman in this place is ugly, but you're the most beautiful.
You're the best looking of the ugly.
Yeah. Thanks. That's great. But anyway, Mike Fleisher passed away back beginning of February. I put this on Facebook, and Mike Fleischer's half-brother actually wrote in to me, dropped a thing on there thanking me, because I put on there, anybody knows anything about this, let me know, because I hadn't heard anything about it. And my big bitch about this was, you have the fan press doing everything they possibly can to find out what Brian Michael Bendis is having for breakfast and all the other crap that's going on right now. But somebody like Mike Fleischer dies, and it barely creates a ripple anywhere. Nobody seems to know much of anything about it.
No, well,
and that was my big bitch about it.
Well, the problem with that wasn't true.
I don't remember coming across that story.
Comic creators talked about Mike Fleischer being dead on Twitter and other social media forms before.
Yeah.
Now, Newsarama and Resources got it because Fleischer, when he left comics, Yeah. In fact, he became an anthropologist. Anthropologist. Yeah. And a very good one, apparently. Yeah. He got a couple of awards, so he left comics altogether. So only people who knew he was dead were people who had worked with him at that time, and they were the ones going, "Sorry to hear my friend Mike Fleischer died. Sorry to hear," because he had basically dropped off the face of the earth. And then about a week later, that's when Resources and Newsarama goes, "Oh, we just found out," because only his friends knew about it. He didn't keep in contact with anybody in comics, only a couple people. That was it. And most of those people weren't with us anymore anyway.
It just seems like the fan press sort of ignored that story in favor of chasing after some other stupid-ass story that nobody cares about.
It was like, I think when it came up, it was like the second or third story posted on Resources today that they found out about it. And I think Newsarama did it as well. And it was a nice piece in it. But yeah, his friends reported this before anybody else did. They reported on Twitter and social media. That's why I found out about it. I go, oh, I didn't know this. Oh, okay.
Fleischer is also responsible for writing the Great Encyclopedia of Superheroes. First volume was Batman, second volume was Wonder Woman, third volume was Superman. If you ever come across these things, these are Herculean works that this man did. What he did was he treated the original stories as if they were actual live events that warranted an encyclopedia entry, no matter how stupid or silly the stories might have been. And he chronicled every single Batman appearance in Detective, World's Finest, and Batman from the very beginnings up through, for some reason, he ended at the end of 1964. And these books all came out in the early 70s. I'm not sure why he didn't just make it up to the current, whatever the most recent issue was, when he wrote the book. But he ended all of them in 1964, 1965. Same thing with Wonder Woman, Sensation Comics, and Wonder Woman, all of those appearances. And the Superman one was Superman, Action, and World's Finest also. I'm not sure about Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane. I think he skipped over those comics. The characters obviously had entries, but I think just the appearances within those books. So the Superman entry alone in the Superman Encyclopedia is almost a small book, what he wound up doing. And it's just amazing how much work and effort he put into those things, and how most people have ignored them for the most part. And they're just an absolutely incredible resource.
I have the
material.
Superman and the Batman one.
Yeah.
Well, those are long since out of print. So.
Well, DC put those back in print back in the mid-2000s. Actually, I've got them here at the store. They just clearanced out the Batman ones like last year, because I assume because nobody was buying the damn things. The one thing that did happen with those, as he went along, they got more and more detailed. The first one was Batman, and the entries, they're all definitive, but they're all kind of dry. By the time you get to Superman, he's writing reams and reams and reams of material about the characters. The character, everything from 6 pages on how heat vision works, and stuff like this, and five pages on super breath.
How's it work?
It's in the encyclopedia. And a long section about the love triangle between Clark, Lois, and Superman, taken from the point of view of a psychological exercise. And they're really quite good if you ever get a chance to read those. And if you ever read Ghost Rider, he did the run of Ghost Rider from like 30-ish or so through every damn issue through like 65 or 70. There's some great character work there with Johnny Blaze that he winds up doing. Whether you like Ghost Rider or not, it's just a really good read. I remember reading those. I was never a huge Ghost Rider fan, but they sucked me right in with all the work he was doing on that character. Same with Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex was exactly the same way. Yeah, just a lot of character work.
Yeah, Jonah was like,
But anyway, moving on to Marvel news. Thanos is ending. Why is Thanos ending? The sales are good on that book.
Thanos is ending with 18.
The sales are good on that book.
Because there's an ultimate plan with Thanos.
Oh, what is the ultimate plan?
Well,
Ultimate Universe?
No. Donny Cates has already said he's going to be doing a Cosmic Ghost Rider Limited series. You'll find out exactly how Frank Castle became the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah. And I guess he'll explain why Hulk is a dog in Thanos' basement and what's wrong with the Silver Surfer and all this other stuff. So he's doing that, and he says there's a big, huge summer thing going on with Thanos. He says, I can't talk about it, but it's a big deal. It's going to be a big event. It's something going on. And
is it that 0-day thing they were talking about too last year?
There are a couple. There's something huge happening in the summertime. It's not a big, huge, multiple crossover event, but as of now, no news. Because Donny Cates is one of those guys that Marvel went, we like you. Here, have an exclusive. A bunch of guys got signed to exclusives lately. He got signed to exclusive. Chip Zdarsky got signed as an exclusive, and Kelly Thompson, who's got 3 books coming out from Marvel.
Okay, that's it for comic news. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do media news.
Media news.
Hey, folks, Comic Book Man here. Most people don't know this, but I got my start in comics retail on February 20th, 1978, when I became the store manager of the Comic Book Emporium. 16 years later, I opened Alternate Reality on August 20th, 1994. Like Superman's penchant for double L's, it seems the 20th has always been an important part of my life. I respect that heritage, which is why we have a Founders Day sale on the 20th of each month here at the store. Every 20th, stop by and you'll save 20% off all of your purchases all day long, only at Alternate Reality. And we're back. Jon Favreau, he's got a Star Wars TV show coming up. Really?
For the Disney streaming network.
Oh, streaming.
A live action Star Wars show.
Yeah.
And Disney chairman Bob Iger says, that's not the only Star Wars show you're going to see in this new network.
Now, the Disney streaming network, that actually going to happen?
2019. They happen next year.
Okay.
And they've got that.
So the clock is ticking on Netflix?
The clock is ticking. No. The Netflix deal is fine, as is. The show's going to run there as long as they want. They're not going to pull any shows from Netflix. That contract is sticking around. Okay. So those characters aren't bouncing back and forth. You will be getting, however, a Monsters Incorporated show, High School Musical, and an original Marvel series in 2019. So they could be I don't think that's a John Ridley thing that he's working on, but it's something different.
You mean like Runaways?
No, Runaways is on Hulu. And Runaways
no, I mean like Runaways.
Yeah,
like
it's something like that. You know what show could be? Stephen DeKnight, the guy who did the Pacific Rim thing, he is dying to do a Moon Knight show, but he says, I don't have time on my network. I don't have time in my schedule to do it. True. That could be the place for that show. And also, James Gunn said he'd love to do a Moon Knight movie.
Well, there you go.
Streaming. Disney streaming. Next year. Get ready. Get your money together.
Anna DeVernay, she's doing New Gods. This broke about a week or two ago.
Yeah.
That she's going to be doing New Gods.
Yes, Wrinkle in Times.
Now, has she actually been picked, or she just wants to do it?
No, she's been picked.
Okay.
No, she's been picked. The announcement came out. Wrinkle in Time made, I guess, enough money, but it wasn't the huge hit they expected because Black Panther kicked its ass, as it does for everything else.
Well, I think that they're using that as an excuse. I mean, the reviews I read of Wrinkle in Time, if there was no Black Panther movie out there and this came out,
it wouldn't have made $45 to $50 million. It'd have been steady because the Oprah fans don't want it.
I don't think it would have gone down in flames, but it wouldn't have made nearly as much as they thought it was going to make anyway.
No, but she's going to direct it. We don't know who's writing the thing. This announcement kind of came out of nowhere because that was never, New Gods was never mentioned in the Warner Brothers plans for anything.
Yeah. Well, I think Warner Brothers plans have been thrown against the wall.
Well,
at this point,
other than that, the only
and
thing
it's slowly sliding down the side of the wall, and they called someone in to clean it up.
I said, "Why don't you do this?" Yeah. Other than that, the only other big Warner Brothers thing is the fact that Todd Phillips' Joker film, he's going to be a field comedian,
which goes back to Alan Moore's
Killing
story.
Joke. Yeah, it's going to be Killing Joke. We may or may not have Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, they still haven't cast it yet, but they keep talking about DiCaprio because Scorsese's attached to it.
Yeah.
So DiCaprio would be the obvious one to go with.
Yeah, I think at this point the script is in for that thing.
But it could be anybody.
It could be anybody. It could be Jerome from Gotham.
Going back to Wrinkle in Time with her, my big problem with that is she was the director on this thing.
Yeah.
It's got a bad script apparently.
Yeah.
Why didn't she tell somebody that this thing needs another rewrite or another pass? I mean, obviously she could tell by looking at it.
She could have been.
I mean, if she couldn't tell that, then don't tell me she's doing New Gods because already I'm worried about it.
Well, the weird thing about this is she did Selma.
Yeah.
Then she does a fantasy film.
So what do you think New Gods is?
Yeah, well, New Gods is.
But then doesn't Oprah have some sort of money thing with
an Oprah. This is an Oprah production.
Or are we laying this at Oprah's feet?
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
So it's Oprah's fault.
And it could also be this one was locked into this release date. Get this sucker out.
Oprah hasn't been cast as Granny Goodness, has she?
No.
Oh, man.
Well, we don't know. We have no idea now.
Wait. Ed Asner's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Ed Asner's Granny Good.
Yeah, who do you think did the voice in the animated series?
I know, but man.
He's still alive.
Put a wig on him.
He doesn't work, but he's still alive.
No.
Put a wig on him and put a dress on him.
He doesn't work, but he's out there.
Boy, if B. Arthur was alive today.
And she'd be older and more unattractive. She, you know what? She'd get a revival show like Roseanne.
Oh, God.
Maude 2. No, Bill Macy's dead, so Adrienne Barbeau, I wouldn't even want to look at her now.
Leave Adrienne Barbeau alone. She's had a hard life, most of which she's caused herself. Infinity War, the final, well, not the final trailer.
No, that's it. That was the last
trailer. Is that the last trailer?
That's the last trailer. That's
no more trailers.
This trailer's come out.
Yeah.
People love it. People are crazy about it.
People are wondering.
People are doing what they always do.
People are going, who's going to die?
Well, I know one person who's going to die.
Yeah.
Chris Evans.
No, he's not dying.
He's not coming back.
No. He's not coming back after Avengers 4.
Next year.
He's got another one to do. The hot rumor is always that apparently that Tony Stark's going to die.
That's been a given from.
That's been a given, and you know
his contract's up and he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Well, his contract's up, and he said, "I'm too old to be doing stunts because I'm like 59 years old, and I'm not Tom Cruise. I'm not running around doing stunts in action films."
And there's only so many $50 million checks you can get before you start going.
Oh, believe me, if he said, "I'm sticking around for the money," because Chris Hemsworth said, "Oh no, my contract's ending. I'm hanging around."
Oh, so he's still going to be Thor?
Yeah, he said, "I'm staying."
If he survives.
No, he said, "Yeah, I'm staying." Well, Thor's not going.
This is my attitude from the beginning. Has always been these two movies are just a big reset button because contracts are coming due.
Yeah.
If you want to stay, then you won't get reset. If you don't want to stay, then we're going to reset you.
Yeah,
and what we're using, our Deus Ex Machina for doing that, is the Infinity Gauntlet. Boom. There we go. You're a new actor.
You already know.
Okay, but
that Sebastian Stan's going to end up being Captain America because he signed a 7-film deal.
You know what this would be? This would be like the very last episode of the Dick York Bewitched. if there was an episode they did between the Dick York and the Dick Sargent one.
Explain why he turned into somebody else.
Where Endora comes in, casts some sort of spell, okay, and he gets magically changed from Dick York to Dick Sargent. That's what these movies are.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Chris Evans is done with 4, and the Russo brothers said they made it quite clear. If you're expecting the Netflix character to show up, it's not happening.
Really?
He said, look.
This would be all hands on deck.
He said, look, there are already 60 characters in the damn movie to begin with.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I had to talk to the
I always assumed it'd just be cameos.
No.
It would be heads looking outside windows.
He said, look, we had to talk to everyone working on the other Marvel movies to talk about this film. We didn't have time to talk to every showrunner from the Netflix shows as well to find what would fit these people in. So he said it's not happening.
You don't need to do that. All you need is Daredevil in costume on a roof looking up at the sky.
He said it's not
This is not that complicated.
He said it's not happening.
All you need is Luke Cage and Jessica Jones walking out of a restaurant and looking up at the sky together. That's all.
And you can make it quite clear there will be no Fantastic Four appearance at the end of Avengers 4.
This is basically Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, because they sort of showed a little bit of, exactly the first one who's going to get it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who, but if you read it, you saw
Well, they made it quite clear. People are going to die in this thing.
That's the thing. They're not going to die. Nobody dies in the Marvel universe.
They're going to die in the actual film.
One is.
One person's definitely
If you read the books, matter of fact, it's a takeoff of Civil War 2. And if you remember that free comic book day book, that character.
Well, it'll be a character nobody cares about.
But you still got to make it look good.
But you know what the big controversy is? If you look at the poster, there's no Hawkeye. Entertainment Weekly did all their covers. There's no Hawkeye cover. But did people not notice in the first trailer, Ronan's in the movie? Guess who's playing Ronan? Jeremy Renner. He's not Hawkeye. He's Ronan in this damn movie.
Wait a minute. So they didn't get Pace and they got Renner playing Ronan?
He's playing Ronan.
Ronan is Hawkeye.
Ronan was Hawkeye. Clint Barton was Ronan.
Clint Barton is Ronan and Clint Barton is Hawkeye.
Yeah.
What was his reason for being Ronan in the first place? That was when Bendis took over the book.
Yeah.
And that right after they destroyed the Avengers.
I forget what the rationale was.
He was killed. He was killed at the end of Avengers Disassembled.
Yeah.
He got sucked into the turbines on the cruise ship, and they shot out Hamburger out the other end.
Clint Barton pieces.
But then he came back as Ronan.
Yeah.
So obviously, Scarlet Witch brought him back.
Yeah, something happened because I ended up getting the Scarlet Witch Vision cover, and I'm like, well, I'd like to have the Iron Man cover.
You're talking about
with the weather veins in there? Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah,
I looked at that and said, so this is what he's doing.
They did 16 covers, for God's sake.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, when I was at work yesterday, I went into the gift shop and I saw the different covers. I mean, there's a Black Panther cover, there's a Captain America cover, there's an Iron Man cover. Yeah, we've got the things on this thing. I'm like, oh, that came out of the comics. Oh.
Didn't they say this movie is supposed to last 3 hours long?
It's going to be the longest Marvel movie ever, but hell, Panther's 2.5 hours. Did you notice it was 2.5 hours?
No.
So it's not how long it is. American audience tend to freak out with this stuff. The length of the movie is the length of the movie only if you're bored with the movie. If you're not bored with the movie, you have no idea how long it is.
So it could be a 3 hour, just basically everybody going, man, that's a lot.
And then of course you'll get a director's cut and you'll be like, oh, it's longer.
You know what the easy way to look at that is? Remember Superman versus Batman? That was 7 days long.
Yeah.
When you were sitting there in the theater. That went on for almost a full week.
That felt like it too.
It was a long film.
As opposed to something like Black Panther, which went on for it feels like 20 minutes. No, it wasn't 2.5 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I picked up the Justice League Blu-ray thing. The 2 extra Superman scenes, really? That was like 35 seconds. You couldn't put those in the movie?
Yeah.
Why'd they cut him out in the first place?
Pacing? Timing? I don't know. When you get
pacing? There's no pacing.
Well, you get to the point where he's walking past the black suit. You get to the point where in the trailer you go, oh, by the way, it's Superman visiting Alfred. We all knew it was Superman visiting Alfred. You couldn't have put that scene in the movie?
Okay. And that's going to do it. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for the Rorschach test. Every Sunday is super at Alternate Reality with our Super Sunday Sale. Each Sunday we pick a different character, family, or publisher, and we discount all of their comics and trade paperbacks 25% off all day long. What we pick for the sale is different each week, but each Sunday you'll save 25% off. And that's all day long, all day Sunday, only at Alternate Reality. And we're back. Gentlemen, I'm going to give you a word, and I want you to tell me.
Would this be the Rorschach test?
That's what I just said.
You just said that.
Earth to Rodney. Earth to Rodney.
His phone was ringing.
Rod, it's off now.
Rod, I don't ask much from this show, but one of the things I do ask is that you pay attention while we're doing it.
His phone was ringing.
That you at least be awake when we're doing it.
I was quite awake. Thank you.
Rod, yes. I know how to break this to you. We're doing the Rorschach test now.
What? Okay.
Holy crap.
And I'm going to give you a word. I'm going to start with Bo this time. Okay. Because I think I started with you last time.
Yeah, you started last time.
Okay, so it's your turn this time. Then we'll go to you. But lock this in your head. I'm going to give you a word. Tell me the first thing that you think of when you hear Devil, Dinosaur, and Moon Girl.
Kids book. Kids book that actually older readers can read it. I find that book quite entertaining. I don't read like the Gwenpool book is like and I don't read Squirrel Girl because I think Squirrel Girl is just good for kids. But no, Devil, Dinosaur, and Moon Girl is a book that appeals to younger audiences. It appeals to women, and it appeals to older fans because you've been pulling in the Fantastic Four or the Fantastic 2 lately. Yeah, it's a well-written book. The artwork is pleasant. It's not great. It's not incredible, but it's pleasant. So it's a nice book.
Man, that is faint praise indeed.
Pleasant.
It is pleasant art.
It's not great art.
I need you to explain to me, what is pleasant art?
It's clean.
Many things in life are pleasant. I've never thought of art as being pleasant.
Let's put it this way: if you read the older Archie books, the artwork for the older Archie books, the artwork was like nothing really spectacular, the Dan DeCarlo stuff, but it was nice to look at. That's about it. It's pleasant.
It's pleasant.
It's pleasant.
Okay.
It's plain. It's ordinary. It's not Jose Delbo. It's not John Romita. Yeah. It's
not insulting.
It's not insulting, but it's a kid's book, and apparently it sells. What are the sales like?
Lousy.
How many do you order?
Lousy. I'm selling less than 10.
Is it 10 to 15?
No, less than 10.
But that book, Marvel will never cancel that book. No. That book will continue to exist.
Well, Marvel has always, DC too, both publishers, they always publish C-level books just to fill out the racks.
Right.
They're your A books are what generate all the income. Your B books are your backbone core books. And your C books are, we need to have 12 books on the rack this week. We've only got 10. These 2 are your fillers.
And your C books are usually
books. And Squirrel Girl's one of them too.
Yeah. Your C books are usually books that the editors think are cool. The editors like it, so they go, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, and if you cancel that book, people go, why?
Because nobody's buying it.
The
problem with C books is they always die because nobody buys them.
Devil Dinosaur is it Jack Kirby create Devil Dinosaur?
Yes, it is. It's one of Kirby's last creations.
It's part of the Kirby legacy. You're not going to cancel the book with the Kirby legacy.
What about you, Rod? What do you think when you hear Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur? What's the first thing you thought of when I said it?
When you first said Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl, I thought, okay, and to be honest with you, that's what came to my mind. No.
Oh, okay.
Why the hell not? What's wrong with you?
Because it's not geared towards me, for one thing.
It's got a black lead character. Shame on you. Shame on you.
So I should buy every black character book.
Well, no. Otherwise, you'd be buying.
These are things that I don't have to worry about. These are store issues I do not have to worry.
Otherwise, you'd be buying all the
beyond selling them. And stuff like that. Yes, no. Rodney, you should buy every black character that comes out, and you should also buy every female character that comes out, and you should just buy every damn comic book that comes out.
I wouldn't do that. Okay. There's a lot of crap out there.
And you know why? You know why? Because I have mouths to feed.
I'll be in a poorhouse if I did.
I have mouths to feed, so you should buy them.
I should buy them.
He and I do the same. We look around and go, why the hell does this book exist?
Exactly. That's
the first thing I would think of with Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girls. Why does this book exist?
I'm just surprised in the 21st century that Devil Dinosaur is still on the racks. The character wasn't around for what?
It wasn't for a long time.
Very long time.
Kirby did that book in 1979, 1978, somewhere around there. It lasted all of about 12, I think, or 13 issues. Yeah. And when it went away, it went away.
Yeah, the character never showed up.
No. It didn't rear its head again, except maybe for a jokey, odd time travel guest appearance until Marvel started doing that monster stuff around 2005, 2006. That's when they trotted Devil Dinosaur back out. And then this book that we're talking about now was about 3 years ago, I think. Yeah. About 3 years ago, where they decided to not team up with Moon Boy, but Moon Girl, and make it a contemporary African-American, young, genius level, 13-year-old precocious girl.
She's the smartest 13-year-old in the world.
Yeah, apparently she's supposed to be smarter than Reed Richards.
That's possible.
That they allude to.
And apparently a dinosaur doesn't eat her.
No.
Okay.
Because it's a friendly dinosaur.
Well, it never ate
unless you take the dinosaur.
So it's not Jurassic Park.
No,
dinosaur.
it's not Jurassic Park dinosaur.
Well, the story I remember with Devil Dinosaur when it first came out was the dinosaur's red. The reason the dinosaur's red is because it fell into lava, I think, or something, and its skin got scalded, and so it's got a bad attitude ever since then. But for some reason, Moon Boy, who's a young primate, is able to talk with it on some sort of telepathic level. Of course, the whole problem with all this is the dinosaurs all died out a couple of 100 million years before humans ever showed up on any level here on the Earth. So the timeline it's like the Flintstones. Okay, there are no dinosaurs running around with cavemen. But, what the hell? It's Devil Dinosaur.
I thought it was like seeing in Marty Krofft, Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Could be.
Could be.
The original took place in prehistoric times. Yeah. Okay, to be honest with you, I'm not sure what the story is with the update. I assume Devil Dinosaur came through some sort of time portal.
It never died.
And
dinosaurs are immortal.
No, it's not. I assume it came through some sort of time portal, and that's why it's here, and somehow it hooked up with this kid with the big glasses. Yes. And they're running around together. I'll tell you the one thing that bothers me about Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl. That book was a darling in its first 10 to 12 issues with a lot of African Americans. I had a lot of moms. I shouldn't say a lot because that makes it sound like a stampede. When I say I had a lot of moms, I had maybe 2 or 3, which is a lot.
Calgary stampede.
Which is actually a lot. But they would come in looking for Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl because they'd read about it and they wanted to get it, and they got it, and they never came back for it again. So, if it was the most important thing in the world for a couple of issues, great, but it hasn't been since, and I haven't seen any of them coming in to buy it.
Maybe the kids read it and didn't care for it.
Which is one of the reasons why I'm down below 10 issues in sales.
Or they're just picking up on trades.
No, the only people who are buying that book right now are folks like you, Bo,
it's good,
and folks like you.
He doesn't buy it.
Who doesn't buy it? But I'm talking about...
Shame on you.
No, I'm talking about old-time fans, who are buying it because they know the book from Kirby.
No. When Devil's Dinosaur came out with Kirby, I thought it sucked.
Okay, well, it did. It did. But it came out from back in your prehistory. Yeah. Okay, back in your formative years.
Yes, formative years.
Okay, and so there's a certain tugging at the heartstrings there for you, and it's also mainstreamed in the Marvel Universe.
Because of the kid.
I would prefer make the dinosaur vicious. I mean, you said he fell into a lava pit.
That's what
the skin.
Well, the original storyline. Well,
make him pissed.
I don't know what the hell. I couldn't tell you what the hell
he is. If everyone who bothers her, he gets really ticked off.
He's like a big dog.
Yeah, he's a big dog.
So he's like
he's crypto.
He's like Lockjaw without the personality.
Yeah. It's Moon Girl and her big dog.
Her big dog.
Her big red. It's Clifford, the big red devil dinosaur.
No wonder you down
with a bad attitude. Clifford with a bad attitude.
Who probably eats snacks.
Yes,
and hangs out with the Fantastic Four.
Okay, that's it. We're done. We'll finish. We're out of here. We got no more time for today, but
time for crime.
Go to the store's website, myalternatereality.com, where you will find all of Bo's news. You'll find all of JR's reviews and all of Vito Carli's reviews, along with shipping and a whole bunch of other stuff. myalternatereality.com. Stop by and see it, and also stop by the store sometime. We're located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality is the only place in the city of Chicago. Heck, it's the only place on the face of the earth that gives you brick and mortar, that gives you 15% off all of your new comics every day for everyone. No matter how many books they are, 1 book, 20 books, 5 books, 15% off all new comics every day for everyone, all the time. And that's going back, 1,235 weeks now.
Stone Age.
Since I first opened up in 1994. So stop on by here, and until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
This is Rod Flash, and kids, dinosaurs are not your friends.
Dinosaurs are cool. I have one
friends.
outside right now.
Okay.
We're going out to dinner.
It's not a Stegosaurus.
Yes. We're going to steakhouse.
Okay, those are carnivores.
Well, it's okay.
Say goodbye.
So long, kids.
Say goodbye, Bo. Bye! Thanks a lot for listening. If you enjoyed this show, please like and share it with all your friends. We value your feedback, so drop us a question, comment, show idea, or complaint either at aircomics@msn.com or, if provided, in the comments section down below on this platform. The opinions expressed in this episode are solely those of the individuals and not necessarily those of Alternate Reality Incorporated. This show is, as always, coming to you from the Alternate Reality Comic Shop, located in the heart of beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie, serving Chicago comics fandom since 1994.
Elvis has left the building.